Hey guys, what's up? This is 8-Bit Eric, and today I am going to give you my top 10 characters that should be in Super Smash Bros. Number 1, Wart from Super Mario Bros. 2. Wart was one of the strangest final bosses in video game history. I can't recall any other time where somebody just died because of eating vegetables. While he's a little bit underappreciated in Nintendo gaming history because of the game he was in, I think it's time that Wart makes a comeback. I think he personally would fit in with the rest of the Super Smash Bros. Characters. I can imagine some goofy attacks that he has. Maybe, you know, he'll puke out vegetables. Maybe he'll throw the bubbles. Either way, I think he would be pretty sweet to play with. If everybody else is getting on there, like Pac-Man, Solid Snake, Sonic the Hedgehog, Dig Dug earns his spot in arcade gaming history. I can imagine Dig Dug just throwing his hose into the mouth of any random character in there and just pumping until they explode. I think he can also have all sorts of other cool abilities, such as digging down into the ground of the stage and popping up. I think he could be a pretty kick-ass character. It would be interesting because he's one of those classic video game characters that I think deserves a comeback. I think Paper Mario should be on Super Smash Bros. If Toon Link can be there, why not Paper Mario? I love the series. He has all sorts of gadgets. The hammer. He's able to jump up high. He flips around. I think it would be totally cool if Paper Mario was on there, and though he would battle the exact same way that he does on the GameCube version of Paper Mario. I just think it would be neat. I mean, it would play a lot like Mr. Game & Watch, in my opinion. That's the visual I'm getting. Coming up next, Simon Belmont. Yes, classic NES Castlevania. Simon Belmont definitely deserves to be on Super Smash Bros. I mean, he was on the Captain N video game cartoon, for God's sakes. Why doesn't Nintendo put him back into the thick of things? All sorts of weapons that the classic NES trilogy had that would fit in Super Smash Bros. Imagine using a flame whip, imagine throwing those crosses, imagine throwing the holy water, all sorts of badassery. Simon Belmont definitely needs to be on Super Smash Bros. Coming up next, I think the Atari Warriors duo would be absolutely fantastic. They could be like the Ice Climbers, except Rambo badasses. You know, get the machine guns and throw grenades and just, you know, shirtless and just muscles everywhere. I think it would be kind of random and funny, and it seems that, you know, the more random the character on Super Smash Bros., the better. The next character that I think should be in Super Smash Bros. Is Gino from Super Mario RPG. Yes, this character was pretty badass. Now, I don't know if Square owns the rights to him or if Nintendo does, but I think Gino would be a nice addition to Super Smash Bros. Have him have all of his magic spells and all sorts of different powers and abilities that he had on Super Mario RPG. I think it would be a nice little touch to include a character that has been forgotten. Coming up next, speaking of forgotten characters, Chubby Cherub. Yes, I think the fat little naked Cupid from the classic game should definitely be in Super Smash Bros. I could see all sorts of funny comedic attacks or just cutscenes that would just be hilarious. You can imagine a naked, fat-bellied little cherub shooting his Cupid arrows and flying as fast as he could. It would kind of be like Kid Icarus, but a mini little midget fat version of it. Coming up next, Bayonetta. Yeah, she just had a badass game in Bayonetta 2 come out, and I think she'd be a perfect addition for Super Smash Bros. That bitch is crazy, she's hot, she has all sorts of awesome attacks and different, you know, power-ups. I think she could be a pretty kick-ass character in Super Smash Bros. And she brings that sex appeal that I think the game desperately needs. King K. Rool should definitely be on Super Smash Bros. He's one of those final bosses that needs to be on there. You got Ganon, you got Bowser, why not King K. Rool? Throw him in there. I think it would be pretty epic. I could see him having all sorts of neat attacks. And hey, you know, him and Donkey Kong could get it on one more time in the Smash Bros. Universe. It'd be cool. And last but not least, the most ultimate character that needs to be on Super Smash Bros. He's one of the most talked about video game characters of all time. Everybody talks about his game to this day. He is infamous. E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Yes, think about it. He can stick up his neck, float over. He can have like a Reese's Pieces power up where he becomes all energized and powerful. He could touch you with his finger. I think E.T. would be pretty badass in Super Smash Bros. It would be one of those classic switcheroos where you won't expect it. Can you imagine if you're playing Smash Bros. One day and it says a new challenger has appeared, and then, you know, just E.T. pops up. And you know what? Don't even HD him up. Keep him as his little Atari pixel. that would kick serious ass. I know the game sucks, but you know, that would be the fun in it. He could throw Atari cartridges at, you know, the opponents on Smash Brothers. And well guys, that has been it for today. These are my top 10 characters I think should be in Smash Brothers. I hope you enjoyed it. Peace out.